Hello, you great, big, juicy, wonderful legends. I hope you are well. I hope you got to have a break. I hope you're actually still on break. I reckon we need until the 13th off. Going back on the 6th, which for me is by choice to have this podcast out. I was deliberating if I do the 6th or the 13th, 6th or 13th, but I have some cool things that I want to share and I'm excited about some things. And I'm like, oh no, I'm starting on the 6th when really, if I'm truthful, the 13th would have been really, really nice to begin podcasting back. But like I said, I've just got some exciting things that I want to share with you this week, which I will get to. I hope you have had a nice break. I hope you have had some downtime. I hope you have had some introvert days, which I have been talking a lot about on social media. The need to have introvert days after peopling, i.e., after Christmas, after everyone wants to catch up around Christmas, because it's like if we don't, then we're really bad humans and we can't just do it in the new year. It is really funny how not all of us, because everyone has different preferences over Christmas and whether they celebrate it or not. But generally speaking, for Christmas goers, it's a funny, funny time to catch up before the new year, to catch up before Christmas. Anyway, if you're not rested, if you haven't been taking introvert days, if you are feeling flatlined and like, oh my gosh, everyone go fuck yourself, I am not up and ready for the new year yet, then I hope you start taking some introvert days. I hope you start taking some quiet time for yourself and really start to reflect in on how you would like to be doing this year differently so you don't reach the end of this year pooped, kaputskis, out of whack, out of business. Anyway, I have two cool things that I want to share with you. One, I have shared on social media, which is on the 30th of December, Steve and I took a walk with the doggies around the oval, and I said to him three questions. I asked him three questions. For 2025, what do you want to start doing, stop doing, and keep doing? These are not questions that I have invented. These are not words that I have invented. I have heard this along the grapevine many years ago, and it's something that I apply within myself and I apply within my relationship with Steve. And it's a really great tool. It's a really great three questions, really simple questions to start having a chat. And we started to talk about it. We started to talk about, what do you want to start doing? What do you want to stop doing? What do you want to keep doing? And it was a really beautiful walk. I got some insight into things that he wanted to stop that I had no idea he wanted to stop. And then, of course, I shared mine back to him, which I'll share mine with you shortly. I then came home. It was a ripper day, super beautiful Melbourne, sunny summer day. I was out the back, just laying in the sun, playing some tunes. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to send this to Allegra, Mia, and Allegra's boyfriend in our family group chat. And I'm just going to share. And so I wrote this. These are three great questions to ponder at the end of the year. In 2025, what do you want to start doing, stop doing, and keep doing? I'll share mine. So I wrote, start doing. I want to start hugging Ali and Mia more. I want to start being in bed by 9:30 p.m. I want to start solo walking once a week. Just me, no dogs, no Steve. And I also want to start walking with just me and Steve once a week, no doggies. I want to stop swearing unnecessarily. If I stub my toe, if I am so excited because something epic has happened and it's a true swear, yes, but I want to stop swearing unnecessarily. That was one of my stops. My second stop was I want to stop turning away help. And I want to stop always feeling the need to be doing something. I want to keep eating clean and keeping lean. That's something that I actually haven't worked my ass off. I've just been very freaking committed. In 2024, I was very committed to being disciplined with my food and my well-being, and it's paid off. So I want to keep doing that. I want to keep sustaining momentum with sales and marketing for my business. And I want to keep reading a book a month. I sent that off to my family. I already knew Steve's, and sort of there was a little bit of silence. Nothing came back. And then ping, 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 ping. The kids and Allegra's boyfriend started writing back their starts, their stops, their keeps. And I was out the back, laying in the sun with tears in my eyes because I didn't expect them to write anything back. I simply wanted to pass on a tool that may be or maybe not they might use now or in their future. And the fact that they all wrote back, they were away with their mum. The fact that they all wrote back, oh my gosh, Steve and I got insight into what they want to start doing. So really what they hope for themselves, what they want to hold themselves accountable to, what they want to stop doing, what they're sick of, what they're done with, what they're fed up with, what they're frustrated with, and what they want to keep doing, which is what they're actually currently proud of. What they're currently proud of, what they are giving themselves a pat on the back for, what they're currently winning at. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to send this to my mum, my dad, and my brother. And again, ping, ping, ping. They sent back their starts, their stops, their keeps. And like I said, the no expectation is the most beautiful part. It was just a simple, I do this, it is cool, here are mine, you might like to do this too. And then to receive people's back, and especially people who I really love, to get insight into them. Far out, my heart filled up with a lot of compassion, a lot of love, and a lot of like, my gosh, these are all humans just navigating the world like me, doing their best, hoping for something different, sick of stuff that they're doing and proud of things that they're currently doing. And it just made me, like I said, it took away that Allegra is my stepdaughter, Mia is my stepdaughter, my parents are my parents, and it just stripped away that, and I just saw the human. I saw the human that didn't have to be connected to me, that was just simply navigating this human experience, and I thought, wow. So that was really cool, and I shared that on Instagram, and so many people resonated with it. They loved just the questions for themselves. Now, you may in your life like, I don't know who I'm going to share this with, and that's okay. You can share it with me if you want to. On Instagram, I have actually suggested that if you have people in your life that you think are not going to get this, then you can share it on there. But it definitely did spark, one, to ask themselves, and two, to ask the people around them, or at least to share the process with them. And like I said, it deepened my love for the people around me and deepened my compassion for their human experience. So like I said, 3 questions: start, stop, keep doing. So mine just came very intuitively. The one that I was actually most surprised about was to hug Ali and Mia more. I always have fun with them. I acknowledge them, good morning, darling, or, just give a funny little look, because Allegra and I are both introverts. So in the mornings, typically we're not huge fans of having a good old chin wag. So we just have these little looks or these little sounds. She has this sound of, which means I know either she's saying good morning or I love you in her own way. But yeah, I just wanted to, there's this desire to embrace them more. I know that my mom always hugged me. My nana always hugged me. And even though I'm not their biological mom, I just want to be that person that hugs them, that feels like, oh, I'm safe with Kitty. I'm safe with Kitty Cat, or all the umpteen nicknames they have for me. Right now, my nickname is biblical. So hilarious. But that one actually really touched my heart, and that moved me a lot. And when Allegra came back from being away, the first thing I did in the morning was I gave her a big hug. And it's funny, one of her starts was to take a walk in the morning, and I went to walk out the door. She goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm taking the dogs to the beach." She said, "I'll come. That's something I want to start doing more," which she had already shared when she sent it to us. And I was like, "Oh my God, this shit is so cool." Anyway, in bed by 9:30. I've been doing that. I know it's been a little bit easier with the break and not having as many clients on board at the moment. Um, and but I've been going to bed at like 9 o'clock, in bed at 9, reading my book. I probably am falling asleep by 9:45, and I can't tell you how happy I am. Oh my gosh, it just feels so good for my soul. All these things, all the starts, all the stops, all the keeps, they contribute to you being more close and connected to your authentic self. Because you are doing things, you want to start doing things that matter to you. You want to stop doing things that are hindering you, and you want to keep doing things that are really working out for you. And just going to bed at the time that I really want to, and reading in bed, like I said, and Steve and I spoke about, we sleep in separate rooms. It is just like chef's kiss, absolute chef's kiss. This week, Steve and I have been for our own walks together, which has been really beautiful, because with the dogs, of course, we love the dogs. They're my babies. But our focus is often on them. Whereas with this, it's us, and we get to talk about everything, nothing, everything again, nothing again, everything again, nothing again. We annoy each other. We love each other. We get to ask each other all these different questions. And our focus can be solely on us, which enriches our relationship. I want to stop swearing unnecessarily. This is the reason why. In our home, we're pretty liberal with our swear words. And I guess it's a little bit different when two young girls are swearing. And I know it's not just my influence, Steve's influence. I know that it can be everyone around them as well. But they do. They especially Ali, she lives here full time. And when I hear them swearing liberally, it started to make me look at, where am I dropping F-bombs where I don't really need to. I don't really need to. Because yeah, like I said, if I stub my toe, if a great wind comes in, I'm freaking excited, then yeah, sure, go for it. But adding it in when I don't really need to add it in, the girls have been my mirror, put it that way. The girls have been my mirror. So that's why I wanted to stop that and be that example, because my gosh, all I have been reminded again and again and again, as a step parent, as a bonus parent, as a parent, you lead by example. That is how they learn. Simply, fully, full stop, exclamation mark. That's how they learn. You lead by example. And I shared that on there. And funnily enough, the two of them put it in their stops as well. I want to stop turning away help. These are kind of things that are around the home. The girls will often ask, "Hey, Kitty, you want me to come to the shops with you?" Or, "Hey, do you want me to go to the shops for you?" Or, "Want me to cook dinner tonight?" And there's something about, I don't know, there is a joy that I get from going to the shops and speaking to my local grocer and etc. And I like to pick things and smell things and whatever else. But there are times where I think that I block their own growth and their own independence by saying, "No, I don't need help." And I'm sure at times I have become resentful when really I don't have to be, and they are actually offering support. So it's little things like that where even Mia will be like, "Hey, do you want me to help you cooking dinner?" And in my head, I'm like, "No, it's just easier to do on my own," because to be honest, it is. Then I have to go, okay, do it this way and then do it that, like, great this, and then that's the next step, and that's the next step. But I'm also potentially missing out on some connection time with her too. So that's what that part was in terms of turning away help. And the last one for stop doing was always feeling the need to be doing something. That's a demon that I've wrestled with for a really long time, and I continue to wrestle with. I'm just better. I'm better at doing nothing, but I'm restless. I'm restless. It doesn't feel like yesterday, for example, super hot day, way too hot to go outside. And for me anyway, and I was tired. I got my period, and I just thought, oh my God, I just want to watch a movie and read a book. I want to read a book, watch a movie, and fall asleep. And it really takes a lot for me to give myself permission to do that. There's many conditions in my head that says, okay, once you have, then you can. Once you've done this, then you can. Once you've earned this, then you can. Have you earned it? I'm not sure you have. Let's make sure you earn a little bit, and then you can watch a movie, and then you can do yada yada. So it's pretty exhausting, to be fair. So I really want to stop the intensity of the restlessness, and not need to bargain with myself. That's what I actually want to stop. I want to stop bargaining with myself. Thank you. I just got clarity as I said that out loud. Mwah, this is why it's so good. This is my own therapy session. And like I said, I want to keep eating clean and keeping lean. Like I said, last year, I did a really great job of very slowly and sustainably, just getting to a body, getting into a body that really feels like that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. Because I've tended to live at the upper edges of my, comfort limit. And that's where a lot of my body dysmorphia flares up, my discomfort flares up, my lack of self-confidence comes up. And I just give myself a really hard time. And I thought, well, what if I just didn't do that? What if I took my body to the place where it actually feels really comfortable and just did the very uncomfortable work? And that's what I have been doing for 8 months. It's not been this quick thing. It has been I want to just slowly, respectfully bring my body to a place where it's like, yes, I can put on clothes and not have to think about it. I don't have body dysmorphia. I don't have that, oh, should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I? I wear shorts to the gym, which I never usually would do. I wear it to Pilates, but not to the gym. All these rules, they go out the window. So that's been a really cool thing that I want to keep doing. I want to keep sustaining momentum with sales and marketing for my business. That's something that I have re-picked up recently, but it's something that I often would stop, start. And as a result, my business suffers as a result when I'm in that mindset. Because then big chunks of money will come in, and then there'll be nothing for some time. Come in, out. And then I get frustrated. I get annoyed at myself. And I don't want it to be like that anymore. I want it to be a sustainable approach. So that's what I want to keep doing. And I want to keep reading a book a month, because that's just been epic. Oh, I used to read a book. I used to probably read 5 books a year and never finish any of them. And last year I read 12 books, and I feel so goddamn proud of myself. Anyway, that's the start, stop, keep process that you might like to do with yourself, with someone you love. Send it to your family, whatever feels good. The second thing that I want to address today is your word for this year. Do you do a word for the year? Do you do a theme for the year? Obviously, I'm not about setting New Year's resolutions and then making goals so freaking big and then not having any next best steps, and you end up failing and you're like, oh, I hate this year. Nothing's coming to fruition. I used to do that. But instead, for some time now, I have been feeling and sensing into my word or theme for the year. My word for this year is unwavered. Unwavered. Unwavered is continuing in a strong, steady, even, constant, continuous way. I then think about the Wheel of Life. I don't know if you've heard of the Wheel of Life before. It's a very well-known coaching tool. It's something that I bring my clients into. And it's a great tool because it taps into every area of your life: contribution, your hobbies/interests, love, relationships, friendships, money, work, purpose, and 8 key areas. I forget the eighth one right now off the top of my head. And when you look at your wheel of life, you are to rate your level of satisfaction. I know I've talked about it here on the podcast before. You are to rate your level of satisfaction in all of these areas of life. And typically what you will find is that some areas will be high, low, middle. And then you draw a line between each of the dots, the levels of satisfaction. And you soon find that you have a pretty wonky wheel. Over the years, I have used this tool. Oh my gosh. I remember when my dad actually introduced it to me and I was like, oh, I don't get this. I don't want to do this. But I learned it at a time when I really needed to learn it, when my money relationship was up the pooper. It was not good. And we drew my wheel of life and I saw how wonky the wheel was. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to maintain these wheels of life, because if I maintain these wheels of life, my friendships, my love, my hobbies and interests, contribution, family, etc., money, then I reckon I'm going to feel pretty good. Not always, but I reckon I'm going to feel pretty good. And so, gosh, I think I was probably definitely early 20s when this was all happening. So it's almost been probably 18 years, 19 years since I have learned about the Wheel of Life. I have been maintaining this for that amount of time. And it's not easy, but it is necessary and doable. And so when this unwavered came up, I loved the first word, continuing in a strong, steady, even, constant, continuous way, right? Of even keel. That's what unwavered is. And I thought, you know what? Yes, I want to keep continuing in a strong, steady, etc. way. And there are some areas of my wheel of life that require more attention than others. And so that is my word for this year. I thought it was sustain. Steve and I spoke about it in our last episode of 2024. That was his hope for me. His hope was for me to sustain my well-being, my finances, my business, my connection to the girls, etc. Because typically my pattern is on or off, in or out, burnout energy. And every area of my wheel of life has suffered as a result of that type of behavior. My star sign is Libran, so that is the balance. My Enneagram is the number 4, which is emotional turmoil. So steadiness and of even keel and balance is actually very important for me. I believe that it is my life lesson. And when I do things steadily, when I do things consistently, when I don't try and rush it and push it and fast forward it, and instead just go, yep, cool, next best step. Yep, cool, next best step. Yep, cool, next best step. I win. Like I freaking win. I win at life. I win in my mental health. I win in my relationships. I win in my business. And that is my secret sauce for me personally. So the word unwavered is just so darn perfect. So that's what I am leaning into this year, to continue in a strong, steady, even, constant way. And so then it begged the question of my life, okay, cool. Where am I already in a very strong, steady, even, constant way? What am I doing already that's like, mwah, chef's kiss? So I wrote all of those things down. Where in my life am I not so strong, not so steady, not so consistent, not so constant? Wrote those areas down. I'm like, cool, there's the gap. There's the gap to fill. So what am I going to do to close that gap? What is my next best step so I don't get overwhelmed by, right, I have to be constant, strong, and steady all the time, but have no plan? What am I going to do in these areas that aren't as strong, that aren't as constant, that aren't as steady? What am I going to do in each of these little areas for now? What's the next best step for this? The next best step for that? Follow that for some time. And then the next best step is probably going to evolve, because you will have got, I'm talking about myself at the moment, have momentum underneath my belt. And then it's like, all right, cool. Now what can we do? Now what can we do? Now what can we do? But at a very steady pace, right? That's the beauty of the next best step. As opposed to at the start of the year, a lot of us can want to take these giant leaps, and there's way too much gap between where you are now and where you want to be. This is the delayed gratification. This is you're in it for the long haul. This is not like, yeah, cool, I want instantly goodness, unwaveredness now. It is a nice, steady longevity approach, which I know we are getting very well trained to not be that through 15-second videos, 2-second videos on social media, where our attention span is getting pretty crapola. So that's my word for this year. That is my theme for this year. And now what I do is I invite it into my life. I invite it to move through me and move through the areas of my life that need to be continuing in a strong, steady, even, constant, continuous way. I don't now try and force it. I don't now try and, positive affirmation it. It's like, cool, that's my word. These are the areas that I know I need to work on. Life is surely going to throw me more areas because we can't control everything. And sometimes we don't know where, if we're using unwavered, I don't know where are some of the areas that I'm currently unwavered, because I've got blind spots. I've got blind spots to it. And every single year stuff always comes up where I'm like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph, I was not expecting that. That was a lot. But for now, I have the areas where I'm like, cool, I know what I want to focus on. I know the next best step. Off I go. So my question to you is, do you have a word for this year? Do you have a theme for this year? If you do, how did you arrive at it? How did you come to it? Is it from your heart? Did you let it come to you? Is it from your head? Is it from your ego? Is it from comparison? Or did it come from something bigger than you that said, this is what you need? This is what you need. Maybe not what you want, but this is what you need. So if you don't have a word, if you don't have a theme, if you want to have a theme and you want to have a word, down in the show notes, I have got a link that you can sign up to. It's free. It's a meditation. It's a meditation and journaling session that you can listen to. You can enter in your details. You can have access to it immediately, have a pen and a journal by your side. And, oh, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool med. It's a pretty cool meditation. I did this a couple of years ago with a group of people, and it's the recording of that. And it's powerful. It is very, very powerful. You'll need some time to set aside. You'll need about 40 minutes to set aside because there's journaling time in there. But if you want, even if you have your word for the year and you're like, well, maybe I'll just feel into this a little more. Maybe it did come from my ego. Maybe it did come from seeing someone else's word. I'm like, oh, that sounds good for me. Maybe I'll take that too. If you want to just kind of double check it against your soul, if your soul is like, hey, let me in here, let me in, let me see what word you may like to really tap into for the year ahead. Then, like I said, just go down into the show notes and you enter in your details and the information will land in your inbox, but please make sure you check your junk folder. So that is what I wanted to talk with you. This is what I wanted to talk about with you today. 1, start, stop, keep. And 2, your word or theme for this year. I know that there's a lot thrown at the start of the year with the whole, new year, new you, or like, how are you going to do this year differently and whatever else. I know a lot of that gets thrown out there. But I also know that generally New Year's bring out this, what do I want for myself? what do I want for myself, and what do I want for my life, and how would I really like it to be, and how do I really want to be moving forward? Am I happy with who I am? Am I happy with how I'm showing up? Am I happy in my relationship? Um, am I happy in my job? Is this life really mine, or is it someone else's that I've just kind of lived in? And then we go into a bit of existential crisis, and then we go, too much, bury head in the sand. So it is a typical time of year where reflection naturally takes place at a mass level. So I know there can be a lot of hits coming from many different places, me included. But it's there for good reason. Take the picking. If you like what I'm saying, take that. If you like what someone else is saying, take that. But it is a ripe old time. It is a ripe old time to set those intentions for yourself and know that you can always update them. You can always upgrade them. And if you surpass that intention super fast, you can set new ones. Or if you don't like that one, you can set new ones. It's not the only time you set new intentions and have reflections for yourself. That is a lifetime practice. But generally speaking, at a mass scale, it takes place now. So, one other thing that I want to share with you before we go is Authentic, the program, is my new program that is being released. And we begin on February 1st. It is an extension of my book, Authentic, Coming Home to Your True Self. So, the tools that are inside of there, the practices that are inside of there are in this program, plus a shit ton more. It follows the pathway of the ego, of coming home to your true self, and the forever dance. They are the three key modules. And everything inside of there helps you navigate the part of you that just won't let you be you. It gives you the tools and practices and reflection pieces that helps you come back home to who you actually are. And then the last piece is how to do this very messy dance between sometimes when you're you and sometimes when you're not you, and not take yourself down a shame spiral. This program isn't about being perfect. It isn't about landing at authenticity and being like, yep, cool, I'm done. It's really fundamentally about learning the dance between the self, like I said, that doesn't want you to be you, that won't allow you to be you, that really does everything it can to say, shut up, keep pleasing, keep overachieving, keep being Little Miss Perfect, keep being the most dominant, overpowering, controlling person in the room, because that's the only way that you're going to feel safe. That part of you is what we really need to navigate. So it's learning how to deal with that so that your authentic true self, the most relaxed part of you, the most natural part of you, stands a chance. Anyway, I have an offer from January 8th to January 10th, so 48 hours only, where you can save $300 on Authentic, the program. Usually it's $995 AUD. It's going to be $695 AUD between January 8th and January 10th only. Down in the show notes, there's a link to sign up so you can ensure that you have access to this $300 saving. There are only 20 places for this offer. So if you are like, oh my gosh, I am very done. I am very, very done not being who I am. I'm so done putting on masks. I'm so done pretending that I'm okay when I'm not. I'm so done being Little Miss Perfect, Little Miss People Pleaser, Little Miss, oh my gosh, I need to protect my heart and not let anyone in when all I really want to do is let people in. I'm so tired of rocking up to school pickup, and putting on this fake self to try and fit in, to be liked by people that I don't even like. And I really don't want it to even like me at the core of me. If you're done with that kind of living where a fake and false self leads the way, then you may just want to take this offer up for grabs, because I know what it's like when you spend way too long in who you're not. It's really hard to look at yourself in the mirror. It's really hard to like yourself. You have to fake like yourself. You have to fake love yourself. You have to fake being confident. You have to fake respecting yourself. And yet there's this deep pain inside. There's this deep void inside that just freaking just cries for you to be you. I know that pain. Believe me, I do. I lived a really good chunk of my life that way. And so maybe, just maybe, this year and beyond, it's your time to come home to who you truly are. If you're feeling that call, if you're feeling that nudge, like I said, when you enter in your details, you're not signing up for it straight away. You're just signing up to gain access to the $300 saving offer. Anywho, that is me done for today. I have spoken and shared about what you want to start, stop, and keep doing, about your theme for this year, and then about Authentic, the program, and a saving that you can tap into. That is me done for today. I love you lots. I'll be in your earballs next week with Stevie Beautiful B. And I hope you have a rad Monday. Lots of love. Peace be with you.